Hello, hello, Joy and the rest of the Whale
Hello.
fam. How we feeling?
Wonderful. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man.
It's
I'm
so
doing
hot here.
great. It's been nothing but an amazing week so far, and it's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
and
What's
and
wonderful Wednesday?
I'm sure you can say the same, right? There's you've got a million things going on, but today's kind of special,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, today's very special. We got the Joy toy machine working on the Joy World site. The kid named KD came in and did some dev work and worked with NFT 42 and got it up on the site. We were before just doing it Wild West style and purchasing Joy toys through Etherscan, but there was a bug, and so we kind of pushed this out real quick. Well, it connects like currently out of order, but you can buy Joy toys using MetaMask. And this is the start of going back towards the early days of Joy World, where everything was hosted decentralized on the website.
I love that you were one of the first artists that I was exposed to coming into this, and that style of sale was, it was always so cool that it was done that way. There's a lot simpler ways to do it, but this adds to the experience of getting a joy, right? You really have to
Yeah,
get a joy.
definitely. Yeah, for sure. And I like to think a lot about kind of like how the internet really is the metaverse. And this is like an individual website could be or should be like just as cool as like going to Twitter, and just as wonderful of an experience of engaging with other people. So yeah, this is, although it's like complex now, and you gotta really want it to like, I remember Whale Shark when he first came in, he was saying like Joy World's like this like rad shop in the back alley somewhere that only a few people know about in the NFT space. And I kind of have like, I kind of try to maintain that kind of secretiveness about what we do in some ways, to make it just a much more fun and unique experience for everyone who's early into Joy World.
Sweet, sweet. So, if you're familiar with Joy World, you know these pieces up here, but you want to show us what the new ones look like and tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, definitely. I could give a quick overview. So, Joy World is a place in virtual space where everyone and everything is conspiring to make you feel joyful and creative. It's inhabited by joys, and each joy has a muse magic. And whenever you own that joy, it's muse magic, kind of you inherit part of it, and it spreads into your own life. Um, Currently, this was the most recent joy, which was Franny, and Franny is joy number 128. And so Franny came to Joy World, and Franny is actually a designer, and Franny made Franny Fanny, which is a new joy toy inside of Joy World. And so it kind of like, this is kind of, joy toys are kind of the beginning of branch out of just joys. There's going to be many layers inside of Joy World. And joys will do more than just make toys. So some joys make toys, but some joys will do other. Actually, all the joys do something else, but I can't really get into it because it's not as fun if you tell all the secrets. But yeah, right now we've revealed toys, and toys have a very unique contract made by NFT 42 where there's things like dividend splits. So there's going to be artists collaborating on joy toys. There's also the ability for a toy to pay the owner of a joy if the joy created it. So one of the very first was Franny, and Franny created Franny Fannies. And Franny is a 101, a unique character. And the Franny Fanny is an addition. And there were 99 Franny Fannies, and I worked with Nifty Knot, who owned Franny Fanny, to set the pricing and the edition size. And we listed up Franny Fanny. Fannies sold out. And we moved on to Bubblegum Borg's Joy Toys. So Bubblegum Borg is an earlier Joy. Am I going on to too much? I'm probably just rambling.
No, 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 no. like I love that you say the background of
Okay, groovy.
that you're speaking about that you created. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So we don't have to like literally read the profile. You can tell us about it. Yeah, I like that.
Perfect. Yeah. So Bubblegum Borg was actually okay. So there was really early Joy World days. I think most people kind of know this story, that there was a time whenever we had hot potato joys, and a hot potato was that basically somebody could steal your joy if they were willing to pay more ETH than you paid for it. And then about a little over a year ago, this was about 3 years ago when that started, and a little over a year ago, we migrated the joys to a new contract so you could fully own your joy. One of the first joys from that season 2 contract born was Bubblegum Borg, and this was before the vault existed. And it was actually, I think this was actually the first joy that Whale Shark collected. I remember dropping it, and it was a New Year's Eve, and Jim was in there, and Whale Shark was in there, and Queen Cryptoria and Devil, and we were all just kind of having like a little, like, I don't know, like New Year's party kind of thing inside of the Joy World Discord. And that's when Whale Shark like showed up and won this joy and got Bubblegum Borg. And Bubblegum Borg, I think that's right. Yeah, and then I'm trying to remember which one. There might have been a different joy. Actually,
this one is epic. That's like it.
Well, there's been so many crazy things go down there. I just have all these like good memories of all the collectors. Sorry to cut you off.
That's what makes some of these, the way that you release your pieces, sort of like really, really cool. Because you have experiences with them, right? At the same time, like getting one of your pieces is it takes some effort, and then
it's a trip through Joy World.
The friends you make along the way is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Bubblegum Borg. So Bubblegum Borg, actually, the way Bubblegum Borg grew and had been growing for the past few years is by eating gum off the street. And Bubblegum Borg was kind of sick of that because it was getting very disgusting. And so they designed their own bubblegum. And the Bubblegum Borg bubblegum is basically a way to communicate with Bubblegum Borg and with your friends directly. So by chewing Bubblegum Borg's bubblegum, your brain becomes interlocked with all your friends and everyone owning. And so I kind of think, since the vault has Bubblegum Borg, I think of like everyone having Whale, their brains are actually then connected with Bubblegum Borg bubblegum. And then the cool thing with the Bubblegum Borg bubblegum is that every time it sells at the initial point of sale, the vault receives 50% of that sale. So this is probably the first time in history that an artwork is paying the owner of another artwork, and maybe the first artwork to pay back. This may be the first artwork to pay back the vault way more than it ever invested into joys. So I think this is a very interesting new dynamic, and there'll be other layers to this that get much more funky and wild.
That is most definitely cool. And first, right?
It's like too weird. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, no, I love the interesting ways that you find ways to do that. And you mentioned that you were using that NFT 42 contract, and is that part of something that's exclusive to that, or did you guys come up with that like totally?
Yeah, so the way it worked with NFT 42 and the way it works with anybody, I talk with everyone, different platforms and stuff, and the way it works is I say all the ideas and I hope somebody goes and build them, because I want everyone to be able to use this stuff. That's kind of the idea here, right? Is we're experimenting and hoping that like we'll build better models for the future and learn from the mistakes of the past and learn from the mistakes we're making now. So the way it worked with building this contract with NFT 42 is they just built it and then just signed it over to me. And it was really such an honor to work directly with Nate Alex, because I've admired so much of what he's built. And we kind of got to like work through the holidays. It's like kind of wild. It's like I felt like I didn't want to hassle him in the holidays, but I was like, it's so fun to be able to work directly with them.
He's never doing much. He's never doing much anyway.
He's so
Yeah,
cool. He's the
yeah.
best.
Shout out to Nate.
Yeah, and so Nate, yeah, ended up building the whole contract, and before we had conceptualized it with Jim and Trislet, and like kind of worked through a lot of the ideas, because I just have this huge list of things I want to try with contracts, and so they were like, "Look, we'll build anything you want into this kind of thing, and then we're going to take it and build." Other ways that artists can use that. So I've been trying to, like, help wherever I can, or say whatever I can to I think this could be a cool model for an artist to mint original and sell an edition, and then the editions are paying the owner of the original. So it adds another layer of value to owning something original that's virtual, that you couldn't really do in the physical world.
And every time Joy World expands, the story just like gets so deeper. I want to.
Hopefully, it's expanding all our minds, maybe.
Yeah. I love the one that I do own is the number 2 Joy. Love
Yeah.
that one. There's still a bunch of those left. So if you don't own a Joy, like those, it's only 0.05. I only say that because sometimes price is like a huge hurdle for people to start collecting, but that's a easy way right there to get your first piece if you don't have one.
Yeah, and now you can just like buy it right here. You just like give me. Confirm
it. and you get the easy way.
Yeah, right here, and yeah,
Not
you had to
fair.
go through.
Not fair.
You had to go
Matrix,
through the
man.
Etherscan contract, type in numbers, like unfold layers. I think that was so fun because I got so many DMs of people saying, I never really even thought about like where the art was, or like what a contract or what the blockchain was, until like see the contract. And then they said they went through like the different tabs and like looked at some of the code. I think that was like just a cool experience for us all to have, as we're onboarding so many new people, and they missed like the hot potato days and breeding kitties and like all these really fun early experiences, which you can definitely do some of those now, but some have like vanished that were really fun.
Yeah, it's very cool to interact with the contract like that. I've only had to do it very few times, but for this one, it was like, oh, you get the FOMO shakes, and you're like, oh my god, what if they sell out before I figure out how to do this thing? and
I try to not cause FOMO. I'm trying to like figure out how to like make it fun and like let everyone in without making it like, oh man, people have awful feelings after.
No, it's definitely like a rush. Like you're like, man, I'm stuck in the house, but I just had a rush.
That's good. That's fun.
Yeah, we're like, that was definitely lots of fun.
The Etherscan contract was so weird. It's like you hit it and then you just like cross your fingers and go to like OpenSea and hit refresh. But I think each iteration we're gonna make this better.
Dope. One other thing about that contract, I don't want to misquote it, but maybe you can tell me a little bit about it. That you can sort of add further images or make some type of cool changes or something like that.
Yeah. So each Joy Toy is a multi-dimensional file, is what I'm calling it. And the idea is that right now each Joy Toy has 6 file types. It has videos. It has GIF, it has still image, it has a GLB for virtual reality, it has a USDZ for augmented reality, and a Vox file to work in crypto voxels. And then all the files are hosted on IPFS, the Interplanetary File System. And in this way, what I'm hoping, and I think Ben from Crypto Voxels has agreed to it, and then also Rainbow's working on a really interesting integration for it. So all different platforms can grab what files they want to use for their platform. And then that way, when you log into different worlds or you travel across the metaverse, all your Joy Toys should travel with you. This is kind of a very early experiment because, to be honest and completely transparent with everybody, I have no idea what the best files are the way to do this well. So each Joy Toy can actually have up to 20 files, and I can overwrite files to improve them. And then we're working on ways to preserve that history. So if I ever go crazy and become Evil Joy, and try and mess up all the files. Everyone can always revert back to something better, the good old days.
Oh man!
So it's kind of about preserving the art history and both forward and backwards, even though time only moves from present to past. But that's a different thing.
yes, that was another plane right there. But I'm excited about that because every day more and more metaverses are popping up. So 2020 is a good number, right? Especially with the overrate feature. You're like, okay, this one's kind of not working out. Let's move, or let's even revert back. So that's a hell of a feature to have in a contract. And with everything that I can imagine that you're going to build on further, it's a lot to unpack in one NFT.
Yeah, definitely. I really just like building, and this will be like this will just be kind of, this is a lot of experimentation for the next Joy contract, which will have very interesting things based on having your Joy and then being able to come over to my place and swim in the pool with your Joy. That's a hint. But there'll be like layers to there's deeper layers to owning a Joy other than like Joys don't only just make toys, and it's going to take a very long time for every Joy to learn to make a toy, but there'll be other artists and stuff to help along the way too.
I'm excited about everything I'm hearing. It sounds exactly like one of your NFTs. A lot to unpack.
Yeah, I like to think of a Joy as being. I used to make so much art, like thousands and thousands of drawings and paintings, and the thing that I kind of figured out is that like it was fun to just always be new and make new stuff. But what I'm really enjoying with this whole project is respecting the original artwork, respecting the owners, the history, and trying to do right by everybody as best as I can, and be able to like see the history, know who everyone, like go back and so like with the 2020 Vision of Joy toy, that was actually rewarded to every single contract that ever interacted with a Joy World contract that ever bought a Joy, even if it like bought it on a hot potato and only had it for 15 seconds. And so I was able to just go through and like look up that history and figure out who was like which address had that and then send it out. So yeah, I think there's definitely more layers to this.
That was definitely a surprising airdrop to a lot of folks. Yeah.
Somebody had messaged in there, "Oh, I don't even remember this, but now I'm a Joy collector." I was like, "Welcome, friend."
That feels better than getting some random coin, even because like it's so personal. You're like, "Oh, I remember when I owned that thing."
Yeah, I think it was fun because it brought back a lot of memories for other people, and then for me because art is really just the people, places, and things it's I think what is Pink Floyd say? All you touch and all you see is all your life will ever be. And now we're like living this weird kind of dimension of art where we've removed the galleries and curators, and I have so many interactions directly with Whale Shark, Jim Devil, Satman, these like really amazing people. That's now like morphing my art. And I wonder also if like in the past gallery, like art was definitely being morphed by like a gallery or like a set of curators. So I think art's going to get so much cooler even than like what it is now.
We're seeing so much cool art these days. It's like you open your feed, it's like piñata. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see because the more and more artists you follow, it's like it's really got that cliche Renaissance feel to the air. Right?
Yeah, it's an art Renaissance. I say it too. I don't care.
Yeah, it's got it.
We've created an art Renaissance out here. It's so fun.
Oh man. The last time that you were on, you had recently a partnership with Adobe, right?
Yeah.
What's up? How was that? Was a lot of fun. You completed it. What's going on there?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun with Adobe. More recently, I talked to him. So as like I have my Dharma loop is kind of like gone around like I guess like a Dharma loop or something where I ended up started like programming on the front end of Joy World, and that kind of became like really crazy. And so I'm started working with some friends, Todd and Lucian from Burger Fair, redesigning the whole Joy World experience, so you'll be able to do everything on Joy World, and then onboarding the kid named KD, and having him helping with some of the front end engineering to link NFT 42 contracts with Joy World. And so that's kind of allowed me to get much more focused on art and getting back into virtual reality. And I started talking to some people at Adobe to kind of cover what's going on with Joy World, because I feel like I'm not alone. I see other artists doing the same, where we're all kind of having to shift from like, we're artists just like making art, and then like start thinking about lots of people are putting their hard-earned F into this, and like, how can we build much better experiences for them over time? And as people are, putting money in me, I'm not going to do anything. I'm sitting in a 20 by 6 foot closet. I'm sitting in a 20 by 6 foot closet. So I'm not going to do anything for myself. I'm just going to figure out more and more ways to invest that into people, to build, to make Joy World bigger, more open, and build art tools that don't have logins and things like that. So yeah, I think I don't know what to do. People are buying a bunch of art, and all I'm doing is just pushing it all back into Joy World and pushing it into new artists making art. Yeah, I don't know what to do though, so other than just like, oh yeah, let's expand art as much as possible, and then like, yeah, go beyond. Like, that's where Joy Toys will get very interesting, because they're playthings for the metaverse. So really, you know, in the future, you'll be able to paint with your achromatic flat brush, or you'll be able to, burn joy into things with your torch. Definitely, you'll be able to see like into the future Joy World, if you have the right stuff. Yeah, I think this will get much more interesting. And my hope is, as I build all this, to keep it as open and as easy as possible for other artists to copy and build their verses, because I feel like everybody needs to express themselves so that I can go experience their feelings and their energies.
I love that. I love that you want to see new people in the space, kind of share all the good things that are happening to you, because that must be dope. Like, you feel amazing. You want other people to feel amazing, right? Because then you can continue to feel amazing. So,
yeah, I've been struggling to become an artist for like 15 years or maybe longer professionally, and like making paintings, and like I had a printer, and like I had like a handheld credit card machine before Square, you could like swipe a Square card reader on an iPhone. So like I've been like trying to hustle art and figure out like how art works, and then like it's so weird with Joy World because I just gave up on that, and all I want to do is just make like an incredible fun experience that's like immersive and playful, and it has to do with people who are interested in what I'm making, and it like rewards them for their interested in it, and it becomes this kind of cohesive, like mutually beneficial like relationship between artist and collector. So I don't know, I'm just playing out here, just trying to have as much fun as possible,
and you're trying to bring as many people with you, right?
Yeah,
people with you. That's dope. So
absolutely.
if there are a few like artists and new people in the space even thinking of creating at the moment, what do you have to say, directly to them right now? Like, experiment, or in your own words.
Yeah, I think that you should just focus on making your art and having as much fun as possible. Life is like very short, of course, and like you should have as much fun as possible, and that's wonderful. But it's very strange. But I've learned more and more over time that me having preferences and then expressing those preferences actually adds value to the world and makes other people's lives better. It seems very selfish, but like I wanted a virtual reality like headset, so you like put it on credit and like buy a virtual reality headset and don't know what I'm doing, and like buying all the computer parts and building a computer. I don't know what I'm doing, but I really want this experience to like make art in this virtual space. And then like buying crypto kitties and not knowing what I'm doing, like going way broke, trying to build the hot potato version of Joy World. And not knowing what I'm doing, but literally I just gave up at one point, and I was just like, okay, I realized we're like kind of in this bizarre faith-based like existence. If I just keep believing in myself, even though like all the numbers just collapsed and went upside down in all my accounts, I was like, if I just keep working and believing in my art and believing in what I'm making and just trying to be true to what I want to make and not trying to rush it for money and not trying to rush it to impress people, but just trying to make the best thing that I actually believe in, that I think is amazing. I think that will show through, and then other people believe in it. And over time, I found other people believe in it. Other people want to see more of this art and are encouraging me by purchasing art and pushing me to take it further. So I don't know. It's such a blessing, and I don't know if it works for everybody, but it's definitely worked for me just to completely believe in myself, like forget about any money, like forget about like any attachment to reality of how things will work out, and just to make as much art as possible. I'm actually only sleeping like 4 or 5 hours a night because I'm making so much art now, and I signed up for so many collabs. I have 3 collabs like due like yesterday right now. So
life is a collab. Life is a collab and a meeting.
Life is a collab. Yeah, we're in a shared like hallucinogenic experience on Earth, right? Like Earth is just a tiny rock in the like dust arm of the Milky Way galaxy. So we're all in this like spaceship together. Let's all try and make it more fun and exciting, I guess.
I'm feeling like that more and more every day. We have a lot, as you can imagine, a lot of good questions from the audience. They want to know a little bit more about you. Some people
stop me if I'm ranting too much too.
No,
I have such a rant.
This is
keep me out of the clubhouse.
This is what the people came here for. They want us. They want to know more about us.
You want an experience.
Let's see. Someone that's new with me, I would say.
Fire up a fire extinguisher. Oh, my poor partner.
I was busy looking at the questions. Actually, you've actually been on Whale FM before. If you want to see more of Joy, you can look at our YouTube videos. I believe that our interview is there, and like you actually drew in 3D in VR.
Oh wow! Did you save it? It's saved.
I believe so. If it's not on the YouTube, I'm gonna have to take a look at that, because that was a lot of fun. Like everyone got to see your creative process and like on live. That was so cool. So cool.
That was really fun.
Okay, so I have a question here.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It says, how did you get into the NFT world? What were your first steps? I mean, you showed us the new contract, like the old contract, and kind of how that got about. But what was the step before that?
Yes. Okay. So I got into CryptoKitties. Probably saw like an article somewhere, because like I totally love technology. Probably like almost as equally as like making art. I just get so excited about new things and new potentials. And I probably saw CryptoKitties somewhere. Of course, that's I think the on-ramp for a lot of people at that time. And yeah, I just started buying CryptoKitties and breeding them. And my wife and partner, she also like got way into it. And we were sitting there, it was like November 2017, and we were like sitting there just like like sending cats back and forth to each other to like try and crossbreed them. And we were like spending not like money we didn't have on cats. Because I remember reading a long time about Ethereum and Bitcoin, and the idea of virtual value really struck a huge chord with me, because I never could understand how to like survive if you make art virtually or make art digitally. And so I always had been thinking like, how can you make virtual art and make it like a valuable kind of tradable thing? Like way back, I come from traditional art. So my dad's a wildlife artist who works in lost wax bronze casting, and my mom also works in woodworking. My dad's a painter. So I kind of like grew up in like knowing you make a thing and it's beautiful or it's unique or it makes people's mind, ask questions, and then they're interested and they own it or they'll trade it and they'll be like secondary. So that's always been kind of rolling around my mind, and CryptoKitties really cracked my mind wide open. I was just like, oh wow, this is it. Like we're trading unique art digitally, and it's totally real. And that kind of led into like I think the crypto gaming channel, and that like I think I just was playing everything like World of Goo, or no, ETH Goo, not World of Goo, ETH Goo.
the classics.
Yeah, ETH Goo. I was playing. I was trading the Picassos and all that stuff. I was trading like Warhols and like all this stuff, like just weird, and then Crypto Doggy. The Crypto Doggies and Crypto World, where people were trading all the flags, and then someone bought the whole world for like I don't know, hundreds of F, and I was like, oh man, somebody's gonna sell digital art just in like a few years for like millions of dollars this way. Like this is it. Like this is a real way to exchange value without a middleman or like a boundary or border, like saying, oh well, this person can't have this art because of that or whatever, or because you can't ship it here, so that was all like just really blowing my mind. And I ended up just going, at the time I was in SF, I was working with this company called Brilliant that makes like, it's a really rad company. It makes math and science education apps for like 14-year-olds that it's like quantum physics. It's like super insane, like level stuff for kids who are like way into math and science. So I was working with them at the time, and I was in SF, and I had like got way into like the CryptoKitties things, and I was doing like contract work with them, and I was wanting a way to trade my art, and there was nothing. The only thing there was OpenSea, and it just came online. And I was basically going around SF and trying to meet all the devs that were in the Discords that I was talking to. And those ended up being everybody who ended up building platforms. So they ended up being like Super Rare. It ended up being Known Origin, Maker's Place. Like I met so many of these people so early, and I was pitching like frantically, as you can tell, I get so excited. I was like pitching frantically, trying to get them to stop making a platform and to just make Joy World with me and to like help me like build a way to trade my art. Because I really believed in the future where artists would just make contracts, and there would be a way very easily to make contracts, which now, years later, it's very easy to mint a contract or do different things. Back then, there was no way to do it. The closest I got was I met Devin from OpenSea, and it was so cool, and we had such a great conversation. And I was about to just send him all the joys to mint them, and I got really crazy over the idea, like, they have to be a hot potato. Can you like change the way OpenSea works so that it trades it like a hot potato? And he had a very brilliant vision that like OpenSea would be like more like a backbone to everything, and like be like the eBay for it also. He was like, no way kind of thing. And so I went and I just took a ton of classes online. And the one I took was like Crypto Doggies. And that one had a hot potato feature in it. It was built off of CryptoKitties. It was like a version of that. So I spent a couple of months in my free time building that contract, and then just launched it. And I had no idea what I was doing. And it was the most frightening time of my life. But I believed in it, so I did it.
That must have been wild. And it's so funny how there's so much similarities between those old now, right? Like back then.
Yeah, back in the days, man.
and back in the day, and
3 years ago.
To how your art is with that kind of experience, right? That when everyone was figuring out CryptoKitties, like you dove into those contracts looking for stuff, not even knowing where you're clicking, and that's kind of like that same vibe that Joy Toys have. Like it's very
Wild West.
Yeah.
I think we're all just barely scratching. Ownership is cool, and like the history of the ownership is very, very cool. But we're just barely scratching the surface. I think people are just barely starting to unlock what's possible with like programmable money and like programmable business logic combined with art. Because I really think this is like something Warhol would have like dreamed to be able to do, is to be able to not only like make editions and all these things, but then also play with like pricing, play with history. A lot of the experiments Pack is doing, I think, are very interesting. They're very interesting too. I don't know how to refer to Pack. It's like a collective mind or a person.
I think that's all very valid ways of describing everything.
An energy, the absence of anything, maybe.
There you go.
It's something and nothing.
One thing, if we're going to speak on that, is that there's some thinking involved, right? So that, the ponderer.
Yeah, I really truly think that design is for solving problems and art is for like creating problems and asking questions and like causing chaos. So the artist role is more so to, like, the trash art movement is, I think, kind of wild and beautiful because you could, like, historically it almost would seem manufactured as just like, the rivalry and everything, and it's kind of so brilliant because it's all an experience. Maybe it's performance art, or maybe it doesn't matter. Like, what is art anyway? Like, what is Joy World a game? I love when people join the Discord and they're like, "Dear sirs, like, who is the CEO, or like, who's in charge of marketing?" And I'm like, "Hi, I'm here. Let's go."
Here I am, also making art.
Although that's changing, I guess, but we're evolving.
Okay, we have a really good question here from the audience as well.
I think I just ranted off hard on that last question. I'll try and keep it a little more brief.
No, that was dope. Again, an experience. How difficult is it to walk the line between interactivity and collectibility? It seems like as something gains utility, it loses collectibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what I was just kind of saying a second ago about like what is art anyways? I think it kind of just comes down to like constantly just questioning it and pushing the boundaries for yourself to see. Does it, if it doesn't do anything, does that matter? Like, if it does a million things, does that matter? Like, some people are like in DMs yelling at me all day, like about like wanting special features or things that Joy Toys should have like more features and do more things. But then I'm also like, well, I'm just an artist making art. So I think the thing is, can whoever asked the question, can you go try a bunch of things and then let us know what you find out? I think it's just about experimenting. I don't have an answer to it really.
Experiment.
Mm-hmm. Try things, that's what art's about. Have an experience and experiment.
Another question to make you think is, do you think that NFTs with rewards will have positive and negative effects on the long-term value? They're worried about people caring more about the value than the art.
I think it will have both. And listening to, I think it's Alan Watts, and I've been thinking a lot about that everything in this universe that's like a positive, like, has a negative kind of thing. Everything okay, like the yin and yang are kind of like a positive, negative, a plus minus, and that all comes from a concept that everything in the universe is a yes or no question. Like, even it could be a simple yes or no question, but I'm making it very complicated. And that turns into binary code, which like makes computers. Everything's a 1 or 0 and on or off. So yes.
The breakdown. So these conversations with you, man, sometimes I can't even, I'm just like, okay, well, word.
I hope you leave questioning your whole life. I hope we all question what we're doing and change something.
What I want to know, if this is the now, what do you see next, right? What do you see the next, or better yet, what's limiting you? It could be technology-wise at the moment from making that next leap.
I think for me, Yeah, you asked what's like next. So like, what's the future hold? I don't believe in the future. I believe in the perpetual now. So there's only this moment, and then the moment where I just said that. But that even that isn't real, and that's where I say like time moves from present to past only. So my thinking there is that there's only now, and then like all these stories about old things that happen in Joy World that I can like. The only way to access them is like mentioning them now. We reach back in a memory and bring them to the now, and so we're in that perpetual now. So I actually don't believe in the future, but I do work very hard, basically around the clock, and only sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night because I want to evolve Joy World into like a living artwork, and where all the collectors are actually the ones creating it over time. And that way it can live beyond my existence. That way there'll be reason and desire to like keep hosting the artworks and keep playing in Joy World and keep making things. And hopefully like, 10,000 years from now, somebody is Joybot and it's totally, makes them feel like super like inspired and creative whenever they go back to work and like work on spreadsheets or like write computer code. So I hope as we move into the next perpetual now that each time like people feel much more joyful and much more creative, and somehow I'm enabling that. And I also just want to keep figuring out ways to reward joy collectors, not just through ETH or other types of gains, but also through just emotional gains and better feelings in their own lives.
I feel you.
That's the best reply to that. Thank you.
No, I definitely follow about the
Oh man, I love you. I love chatting with you. I got so excited when you DM'd me just before this call.
Man,
it's like yeah, let's go.
Let's do this. That is definitely some good advice, right? About the perpetual now bit. Let's see. You mentioned briefly that
Joy World is drugs.
You mentioned briefly collectors. We already mentioned about what a quick message to artists. Do you have a quick message to maybe new collectors or even just about collecting in general?
Yeah, collecting is really, really, really difficult. I kind of collected a little bit in the shadows here and there, and I didn't collect some of my friends' art, even though I was like DMing them and seeing their art exploding, because I find it very difficult. For me, the collector is just as like beautiful and amazing and creative as the artist. Their actual collections completely shine through, their personalities shine through. I scroll through the Joy World collectors collections all the time and look at their sets, and I notice like Whale Shark vault and your guys' vault has like a specific like look to it. Like Jimmy's collection has a specific look to it. There's like more almost like greens and teals like in Jimmy's collection, and like Devil has such like OG like very like iconic type pieces that he's held like very strongly for so long. Like, and I more recently like Satman. Okay, so Red Lion like sharded Donk into a million pieces, and Donk's like the car in Joy World that's not a car. And Satman recently went and collected all of the pieces and put Donk back together.
I
today.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Satman is an amazing character.
Yeah, he's a maniac. I love him. I love Satman.
Jeez, put the car back
I was
together.
like, oh my god. It was my brother. At one point I was talking to my brother and he said sharding art is like criminal or something. He had some hilarious thing to it. It was just hilarious, which I didn't really agree with him, but he had something about like being down with, he wasn't down with sharding art, like sharding originals. But I was like, this is part of the experiment, man. It's totally cool. Sharding art's criminal or something, or sharding joy. I can't remember. It's so funny. I wrote it down, but
felt funny about that. Don't take it apart.
Yeah. So I'm gonna message him later tonight and be like, Satman, put it back together. But yeah,
I'm trying to find the picture, so I can't find it. But I do know.
Oh, Donk, yeah, I'll pull it up on the screen too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, so Satman is now the proud owner of a whole of a whole NFT.
He put all he put Donk back together again. Yeah, here's Donk rolling down Mission Street in SF. This is kind of by where I lived, just like a block over. Whenever I made Donk, so I really love this image for me, capturing Donk rolling down the street.
All right. What kind of? All right. If you
Oops, that's trademarked music. Kind of update that. Oops, I closed that.
Since you have so much passion for technology and all that stuff, what are some of the tools that you're using right now? The VR headset programs. Give us a little bit of the rundown. Maybe some people can learn a little bit about what your setup looks like.
Yeah, definitely. Here, I'll grab it. Yo, I dropped it. Hey.
All right.
That was so unprofessional. Sorry. Oh, you can see my whiteboard with all my top secret stuff.
Oh, did we get a snap? Did we get a good Snapchat of that? Man, did you have your own custom VR headset, or what are you doing here?
This is my customized. This is my custom Rift. This is a Rift S.
That is very dope. Tell us the story about that, because I want to know where you got this thing.
Yeah, I painted it, and then I took the facial interface off of it.
It's a one of one joy.
Yeah, I have this one. This is I painted this too. I paint everything. I just go to the art store down the street and I buy paint by the jug now.
They're gonna definitely name it after you.
They're like, "What are you painting?" I'm like, "I don't know, anything." So I have one of these things because I really wanted to switch to this so that I could do it mobily. But the thing is that it's like really heavy on your face and having the extra battery and all this stuff.
Which Rift is it that you have?
That's a Rift. That's a Quest 2. But this is a Rift S. This is they're discontinuing this.
Gotcha.
Basically, I use Medium by Adobe, and it's only available on Oculus, so I have to use Oculus. And so this has been my headset. It's just that I painted it, and it's very beat up. So there's lots of modifications here. So basically, this thing comes unplugged over time. So I routed this around here, and then I hot glued this down through there, and then sewed it onto here so that this cord won't unplug while I'm working. And then I removed the facial interface because it gets really hot after 2 hours. And then I use this. I really like this kind because it has this crown thing that they got from Lenovo, and so you just put it on. I can wear it like this. I can wear it with my glasses.
This is totally movie stuff, because everyone in the movies, Ready Player One, he's got this headset that you can tell he's been building himself and putting together pieces.
Oh yeah, I've modified all the headsets.
And you've been doing amazing.
There's some headset history. Here's the first. Oh. This is my first Rift, and this is this I made all the first joys with. The first 80 some joys, maybe even Bubble. I think Bubblegum Borg might have even been made in this headset.
The tools of the trade.
This is my very first headset. This is a HTC 5. It used to have these huge yellow glasses, but when I'd wear it, it would flicker, and then I'd get really sick. And then you see also in here where I had to cut it open to get my glasses in, so then it just goes on really easy. But I have to modify every headset I've tried all of them that basically run medium. If it runs medium, I'm like, I'll try it. Let's go.
There you go. And if it don't work, you'll make it work, apparently.
Yeah, basically. This one, I don't know what to do after this. I basically, if I ever, which I don't know if I would ever do some. I doubt it. No, I wouldn't ever just do it drop a bunch of stuff for money. But if I were to and make like $1 bajillion instantly, I would definitely probably just start building a new headset and hiring people to do that, because the headset landscape is a nightmare for art. And this is the best thing I've ever used for making art. It is so fun. It's so incredible.
As you say that, a comment comes in from Eltor watching on Periscope that he needs a case, and how much for a painted case.
We should give away. I'm always like, I should just give this painting case away. I know Jimmy and I were talking about doing like a live sculpt or something at one point. I should do like a live sculpt and then give this case away. Or we never finished our sculpture that we did on here.
Oh, let's get back to that.
I still have it.
I'm sure the whale community would love to have you back for a live session, kind of watching us do your thing. Let's please.
Maybe we can give away a real thing.
Nice. We're coming up on the hour here. Is there something maybe that you live? We'll do it live.
I'm ready.
Is there something that you kind of want to mention that maybe we didn't touch on, or that you would like people to take a look? Something you would like to recommend? Whatever, the whole nine.
Definitely go to joy.world, and I just want to say that I just love and appreciate everyone so much. I feel like incredibly blessed to be able to make my art and to be able to pursue having fun and making wild things. And I just want to say that I promise that I will keep trying to do better and better and better for the community, and making the experience better and better and better for every joy collector, whether you're a joy toy collector or a real joy, or like a joy collector, like a joy. I definitely am like here to work on this. This is like my forever lifetime dedicated project. So I'm out here. Get at me. Join the Discord. Join the Discord, and if you can't get a hold of me, just message in the main channel, and I'll reply within a few hours.
So we out here. You heard it here first.
We're out here.
We out here, Joy World.
Hop in. Take a dip.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the new artists that are out there to kind of see what you're doing, get inspired, know that what they make is beautiful, and that there's definitely people out there that want to own it, appreciate it. So definitely
Absolutely.
don't, a lot of what Joy said today was pretty deep. It was pretty deep, but you can go back and watch on YouTube.
Kinda.
You can go back to watch it on YouTube tomorrow.
Deep dish, like a deep dish pizza or something.
Yeah, you need to come back. You need to come back to it. If everyone listening to the Discord, definitely visit joyworld.com. I put the link there. I put the link to his Twitter. If you're not in the Discord right now, it's pretty easy. Discord.gg/whale. And I would love to come show off your Joy toys if you purchased one. And I'm sure that the vault is going to appreciate when we sell some NFTs.
Yeah, I think if we sell the bubblegum borgs, the vault will have recuperated all of its investment into Joy World. I haven't really looked at it. That was just kind of assumption I made. Okay. So I don't know. Don't believe me.
We're gonna fact.
Don't trust verify. Don't trust Joy verify. Read the contracts. The contracts are law in Joy World.
For sure. All right. So. And with that, definitely follow Joy around on Twitter. There's always something new, cool, interesting, and just follow as many artists in general as you can, because there's so much good stuff coming out that it's very easy to miss stuff, but hone it in on some good artists, good creative.
Yeah, if Joy World isn't for you, buy art, buy other art. Yeah, definitely. Nice. This is so. The art, when I've collected art, and seeing like what artists are now like, I don't know if I like artists I've collected, I'm seeing them like they're exploding, doing other different things. And I know whenever people collected my art and came in, like it completely expanded my mind and what the art could be, and remove so many barriers. So yeah, please, like if you're not interested in making art and you're not interested in Joy World, definitely get out there and collect some other art. Definitely.
Oh, one last question. More of a request. Joy, give us an Easter egg hunt clue on toys.
What?
Do you have
Oh,
any
Easter
Easter
egg.
egg? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Joy Toys can have up to 5 collaborators on them. And so there are multiple artists that are very legendary from our history here in this space that are working on very far out Joy Toys. And especially Devil and I are cooking up something really, really crazy that will be Easter eggy, wild, and fun.
Yeah. I'm excited just about the collabs and owning a toy by you and someone else that's been in the space. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, some of the artwork that's already come through that I'm now doing my spin on and my turn on is oh man. I think it's even gonna open our minds about like what is a toy, like what is this, like yeah, what is owning this stuff anyways. Could be
We're
really
here
fun.
for it. We're here for it. And just to remind everyone, no, anytime. And I was just about to say that we're very quickly going to schedule that second live session when you have a chance to come back, and so everyone can see you kind of painting around your room and finishing that sculpture, because we can't leave it like that.
Yeah, because it's like a dragon head thing right now. I've almost opened it like 6 different times. Like, oh, I want to, but I'm like, I should save that. It's really much more fun to like.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Well, yeah, we're gonna create. We're gonna, we're gonna finish it in like 10. We're gonna finish this like in 10 years in steps though. There's no need to rush.
yeah, joys are made with non-attachment and non-achievement. So in this way, that we get the best result, but it may take all of time to make. It may be the last joy ever made.
we're on chain because it's forever. So we're gonna have some
fun. Right. We're here to take our time. The transactions take forever, you know. The chains forever.
Word. My dude, thank you so much for coming through. Everyone that's been watching, give that follow to Joy. Come check us out. We have like 20 events going on this week. So there's something that you're gonna like. Come by, ask questions. Everyone that comes here is very helpful and very they distribute their time very, very caringly for this community. So come ask questions and learn some. Learn some.
Yeah, the whale shark community rules. The whole whale community is freaking amazing. It's so nuts too. Going in the Discord, it's just like so amazing. The level of activity and the interest and like the love around there is so fun. Yeah, really good community.
All right, we'll see you on the Discord.
Groovy.
Out.
Catch you later. Much love, my friend. See you later.
Peace out. Say DC, hit it.